How are we doing, Thrivers and Rebels? Welcome back to Thrive the Matrix, and we are moving on to the first video in our series with the kickoff Rebellions Are Built on Hope. The point of this series is going to pull away a bit from the healing aspect of leaving a toxic person, family, systems, employer. We're going to assume that we've done the work to heal for the most part, but we're still being punished or we're still being smeared maybe way after the fact, and now it's just at a point where you're ready to move on and you feel like that smear campaign is holding you back, right? And getting ahead of you, you're carrying it everywhere you go. There's just too many unfortunate events. They're starting to add up. Pretty soon you don't know what your reality is, what you're accountable for, where that starts and where the smear campaign ends. And we're going to talk all about that in this video and have THRIVErcises on Thrive the Matrix for you to work on some inventories that should help you feel more empowered about working around the smear campaign and facing every day and continuing to fight as the imperfect, quirky, flawed person that you are. Before we do that, I have our channel important announcements and disclaimers. There are chapter skip options in the description for the video. So if you're a returning viewer or you're a Thriver Medallion member and have hit subscribe, the announcements are really for our new first-time viewers. So please do take a minute to check them out. I think they're a minute and 22 seconds. Otherwise, use the chapter skip function to get right to today's topic. I'll see you in a minute. I'd like to begin today by thanking our Thriver Medallion members, our subscribers and early adopters, anyone revisiting this channel, having watched previous content, and brand new viewers. We hope you enjoyed today's content, and this announcement was made especially for you. Before we begin, if you want to bypass this announcement, if you've already heard it, please use the channel marker function in YouTube to do so. With that, I'll begin by saying that any persons or scenarios discussed on this channel are not based on any specific real persons or scenarios and are anecdotal only. I am not a clinician. I am not a psychologist, psychiatrist, therapist, although I am a certified professional life and happiness coach, and for that reason on this channel, we always theorize. We do not have the right to diagnose, and we will absolutely never theranos. With that, we'd ask you to remain seated until the end of the video. We do strive to make them short and to the point and valuable in respect for your time, especially when the stick around sign is illuminated. For most of the content on this channel, it's important to note you may only be able to assist yourself, and you'll likely want to always assist yourself before assisting others. In the likely case of an emergency, because life is not fair, please know that you always have an exit using the resources and tools you'll develop on this channel and others like it. With that, we are expecting clear skies today and wish that for you every day, regardless of what the weather says. And I will invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy today's topic. And we're back. So I know that the shorts preview that kicked off this series was based on a specific situation. So we saw Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, great movie. If you've never seen it, cult classic, came out in the 80s. I watched it when I was maybe 12 after trick-or-treating, and it's been a favorite movie since. She just inspires me with some of the, day-to-day adversity she experiences in the movie, while never losing her uniqueness or sense of humor, and it's just a good time, so definitely check it out. But in that video, we talked about or used the unexpected life event of the job search, and we're going to use that example to add some context to the smear campaign and how it can seem to follow you wherever you go, how it can make you feel hopeless and powerless as if you have no way to overcome it, no way to make an end, no way to stop getting people to believe it. And again, that can be a hopeless, helpless place to be in. This is maybe even after you consider yourself healed. You may be indifferent to that toxic person, the toxic systems, the toxic employer, and now you just want to move on and accomplish a goal. So again, for the intents and purposes here, we're going to use a job search. In the video, we saw the town Biddy calling different townsfolk to let them know that Elvira was out seeking a job, and she faced barriers at every turn and ended up thinking there was some sort of conspiracy. So there are going to be some THRIVErcises related to this video that should help you in certain areas take some of that power back Move away from some of the crazy making that goes on in here when we're trying to make sense of, avoid, fight the smear campaign, and give you some hope and confidence that you can move forward despite that campaign, whether it lasts a month, whether it lasts 6 months, 2 years, and whether it's based on information that was once true that's being weaponized, it's no longer true. Maybe it's something that's just flat out incorrect. It doesn't matter, right? If something's being said about us to affect our reputation, it is going to affect our ability to accomplish our objectives. And this video and the THRIVErcises at Thrive the Matrix aim to give you some tools to move on with some hope and even confidence and excitement for the future. The THRIVErcises that you're going to find, and I will have a post up when they are ready to sign into thrivethematrix.com and complete them, and they will be free throughout the series as the THRIVErcises are posted to the website. I think it's really important, in addition to these videos, to have that practical application so that you're in essence, just like they suggest journaling, you're in essence kind of taking stock, taking inventory of where you are, where you've been, and where you want to go, your part in it, the smear campaign's part in it, and a solid plan moving forward. So the THRIVErcises are going to focus on the following. The first, we're going to do an accountability inventory. It's very easy for us to lose our reality and assume that everything that happens to us is a result of a smear campaign. I think it's important to remember that controllers are not omnipotent, they're not clairvoyant, they don't have connections with each and every business or each and every manager, every employer all over town. It may seem that way, and sometimes towns can get very small very quickly. But we really want to look at, is there anything we've done to get in the way of accomplishing our goals? And if so, we need to give some absolution to the smear campaign for those things and then make plans to change those behaviors. I think that's also part of healing. Maybe carrying some behaviors with us that are not serving us. So number one, accountability inventory. So you know exactly what to take accountability for. And then when the situation is completely ridiculous and it's part of that series of unfortunate events. The second THRIVErcise that you are going to complete, I think it's really important with the smear campaign to realize that it can seem far-reaching and it can seem all-encompassing, but we can find clever, innovative ways to not necessarily keep pushing against it. Like the royal family, we should not explain and not complain. And we're not going to be able to change people's minds as much as we'd like to. Hopefully we will over time as they see the real you for who you are. But the model is designed around the fact that you may never be able to do that. So instead of fighting the smear campaign, how about we just work around it? So using that job search example, imagine instead of using technology as it is today, and we all have LinkedIn, Indeed, ZipRecruiter. This is an endorsement for none of them. They're not affiliated with Thrive the Matrix, but you get the point. How about printing out your resumes and going door to door and shaking some hands and saying, hey, I just wanted to stop in. I saw there was an opportunity. I have my resume here. I know that we're getting an introduction now, but I also have a cover letter explaining why I think what I'm doing or what I've done is a fit for the job description for the role. That's something that you can keep to yourself. As long as you don't announce that you're going out to do that or announce the places that you're going to be applying to, you know, anybody that could be monitoring you digitally, that's going to take that off the table. And these controlling people are not omnipotent, so they're not going to know that you took a day to... Ah, Jace. My little buddy Jace. Can I show you my cat? Oh! I don't know if you're looking forward to House of the Dragon, but I named him Jace after Jaceres from Larion. Say hi, Jace. You're the cutest. He cries a little bit, though, too. So do I. So do you, probably. Talked about the accountability inventory, and then we're going to get innovative, and I'm going to challenge you to list your goal, just like you will for the other inventory, at the top of a page, and then start to brainstorm as many creative ways that you can to stop pushing against the smear campaign or stop falling victim to it and just work around it. Where there's a will, there's a way. This too shall pass, but let's recognize it could take months, it could take years, and some of us, or all of us, don't have that time. We can take our power back, get innovative, and find ways to get what we need accomplished so we can move on to live a life of freedom and peace. So aside from that, I don't know if you watched a short preview for this video with Elvira as she's on a job search. There was some humor at the end, and I've always loved that movie, only because Elvira is a character that faces everyday adversity. She looks very different than everyone else. She accepts that she looks different, that she is different, and despite any challenges, she never does lose that sense of humor. She's one of those characters you root for because they just let everything roll off their back, and they always have a funny quip or comeback. That's not to say that that's reality. It's actually a funny movie, a nice diversion. It's her humor that I think we also need to hold on to, and I think in this time of our lives, it's very important, no matter what your sense of humor is, that you hold on to it, you find a way to express it, you find a way to enjoy it, so that you can sustain yourself, you can have that laugh that is the best medicine, that does motivate you the next day to try to climb up that hill once again. So I'll find a way to have an activity where we have a little bit of fun. We may have a bunch of comedians out there, I don't know, you don't have to share your work, but we'll find ways to make fun of our situation and feel better about the fact that we're really involved in something that we can't control. We can only, work around and take accountability for our own actions. People only have as much control as we're willing to give them. And so just remember that whoever's perpetrating any type of smear campaign, it's going to be a matter of time before who you are doesn't align with that smear campaign, or there may never be a time when who you are lines up to what's happening in the smear campaign. If you think about it, it's a really efficient way to weed out who is someone that has your best interest at heart and who's someone that's willing to engage in something like that at the expense of your friendship, right? I might have a surprise activity in there, but I will definitely have a community post when the THRIVErcises are up. I absolutely recommend checking them out and completing them. We talked in our last series about doing the work, which is still available. And when we put pen to paper, or when we type it out and we put some thought into our situation, we get that clarity and we feel like we've made progress toward getting the control back that is, and not the type of control we're talking about. These other people just control of our own lives. And that's going to help eradicate that hopelessness and helplessness. So I hope this video was valuable to you. I hope you look forward to the THRIVErcises. I hope you look forward to the next video in the series. And just remember that I know it isn't very pretty what a town without pity can do. With that, Thrivers and Rebels, I'll say, may the force be with you, and stay up.